It looks like Apple is killing a very interesting feature that we never got to see on iPhones for something interesting. Nintendo is finally ready to release Mario Kart Tour for iOS and Android very soon, and those of you that have a Pixel, it seems that Android 10 might be closer than we thought. I'm Jaime Rivera, this is day 2 of being out, but don't worry, the studio's coming back soon, and there are more videos on the Galaxy Note 10 coming as well. This is Pocketnow Daily. The official news today begin with deals. If you are in the market for an Apple MacBook, it clearly seems like if these deals are going to continue. Amazon currently has a new MacBook Air with a $330 discount by leaving it at $869 shipped, and this is the 128 gig variant. This deal is also available at B&H. If you want more storage and a larger discount, Best Buy has the 512 gigabyte variant for $1,150, which is a $650 discount. This tells us a lot about, it's just funny. I don't think I'll ever want to buy Apple products in an Apple store again. Now let's talk about OnePlus. I mean, if you remember, the OnePlus 7 Pro launched with a variant that's 5G capable, but that one was exclusive to the UK, and we were wondering, when would we see this come to the United States, particularly with the aggressive price tags that we have with OnePlus. As it turns out, Sprint just announced that it will be joining their 5G smartphone lineup. Unlike the S10 5G, the 7 Pro 5G is identical to the 7 Pro, except for the fact that it has 5G capabilities. And the best part of all, it will retail for a crazy $849. So for those of you interested in 5G, this is the best way to start, I would say. Particularly for that price. We're talking about what, $500–600? And now let's talk about Vivo. The company has proven that their next lineup is really something to look forward to, mainly because, well, they brought the pop-up camera, they brought the back screen, and now it seems that there's something more coming. We've seen the leaks and specifications of the Vivo Nex 3, which does look kind of crazy, and we now hear that it'll have 5G capabilities, a 99.6 screen-to-body ratio, a 6400 mAh battery, and a Qualcomm Snapdragon 855 Plus. We also see another image that shows the company's 120-watt SuperFlash Charge, which is able to charge the 4000 mAh battery in 13 minutes. If this phone is real, that's going to be insane, and I can't wait to see it. And now let's move the spotlight over to Nintendo. We saw Super Mario Run. We saw that they saw some success with that game. Wasn't necessarily my favorite because of the implementation. It made a lot of sense for you to be able to just control Mario with a tap. But I'm glad to see that they're not done. There's more. The company teased over a year and a half ago that they wanted to bring Mario Kart Tour to iOS and Android. The company finally announced that it will be available on September 25. Like Super Mario Run, it will be free to play until a certain level, and you'll have an in-game purchase ranging from $199 to $69.99, so that's definitely different to Super Mario Run. You can pre-register and pre-order the free game on both the Play Store and the App Store, but come on, Nintendo, you said that $10 was it. This is terribly expensive. And finally, the hottest news today actually have to do with Apple and iOS, particularly for two things that are completely separate, but to a certain degree, hopefully related. If you've noticed, the company has just announced iOS 13.1 beta, which is rather interesting because they've never launched the .1 beta before they launched the major beta, and it turns out that it's because there are some significant changes, which I won't bore you because this would make this a long video. There's a full list, you can read it in the description, but most important is the fact that, apparently there was a feature that would come to iPhones at some point and ended up being shelved. We're not exactly sure if this was part of iOS 13 at some point, but according to sources, Apple has just shelved their interesting Walkie-Talkie app that they were developing. The report claims that Apple was working with Intel on the project, which would let you talk to another iPhone in a place with no cellular coverage over the 900 MHz radio spectrum. This app would be helpful for skiing or hiking, but sadly the guy leading the project has left the company. And also, Intel modems were part of this application, which are now being shelved over Qualcomm modems. And honestly, the reason why we left this as the hottest news is because it is a major deal right now on Reddit. I guess that people really care about this, so I would love to know in the question today, what do you think? Do you think that you like a service like this or not? Because I feel that all cell phones should have it. all cell phones should have another way to communicate that doesn't depend on the cell phone spectrum in case you don't have signal, which is rather common if you're in the city like New York. So we would love to know what you think in the comments down below. I think it's mandatory. Friends, again, if you want to get the news earlier, follow us on Pocketnow.com and subscribe to our channels English and Spanish for more videos like this one. Also, follow us on social media as our extended coverage happens on Instagram, and follow me on my personal handles to see what I do with these phones. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like what you saw. I'm Jaime Rivera. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.